Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hearthstone Major at PAX East presented by One Nation of Gamers. My name is TJ, and I'm joined once again by That's Admirable. It's been a sick day of Hearthstone. We've seen it all. We've seen upsets, we've seen crazy Reno decks, and of course, we've seen some good old Force of Nature and some good old Savage Roar. That's Admirable. How you feeling, man? Are you enjoying the matches so far today?
I'm starting to hit that second wind.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
That point where you get a little bit tired, but it's like the crazy kind of tired where you're like, I should run a mile right now.
Yeah.
Let's just go for a run.
Yeah.
Not that I run. I mean, just look at me. But yeah, the matches today have been so good. I mean, the upsets are always something special to watch because you just rarely get an opportunity to see that happen. You know, it happens here and there. But for me, the one was just that legendary series between the Reno Hunter and the Reno Control Warrior that took place. And just Mogre the Ogre completely dominating the battlefield by directing the attacks was such a pleasure to watch. And I just hope we get to see more stuff like that. And this one, it's going to be Trump versus Neuromorph. And we're going to see what Neuromorph's bringing to the table. Looks like a bit of a more reasonable lineup here with Hunter, Warlock, Warrior, and Mage versus Trump's lineup, where we saw was a mid-range Paladin, Warlock, Warrior, and Druid.
Yeah, and players are selecting decks, so we're going to get right into this matchup pretty shortly here. Did see, of course, Trump play earlier in the day. I don't think we've seen a single aggressive Hunter over the course of the weekend so far. We've seen Reno Hunter. We've seen crazy Beast Synergy Hunter. We've seen, I don't even know what kind of Hunter that, I can't even remember.
Dread Scale?
Yeah, the Dread Scale, the Ultima that he ran last game. Who even knows? Who even knows anymore what we're going to see? So Neuromorph, I don't say this often, but I hope that he's playing a Face Hunter. Just so we can put a stop to the craziness and actually see some normal Hearthstone. I was coming in this weekend. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of the meta like everybody else, but this is sort of the last hurrah. This is the last big tournament that we're going to get to see before Standard, before Whispers of the Old Gods. I'm excited to see Force of Nature Savage Roar. I'm excited to see Zoo Warlock. I'm excited to see the Secret Paladin for one last time. But then everybody plays Murlocs.
Just when you know a man has lost his mind.
Yeah.
The statement before he slips into the darkness and despair on that descent. I hope this is Face Hunter.
Smark.
This is going to be, we did see a tournament medic in Neuromorph's hand during the Mulligan phase. These cards look like sort of a Control Warrior deck that's a nod back to Fibonacci in the season he made #1 in North America with Control Warrior. Had a copy of Tournament Medic in there. He's going to be facing off Trump in the mid-range Paladin. Get ready for some Quartermaster, bros.
Yeah, he's got Muster for Battle. He's got Quartermaster in his opening hand. We saw him get Quartermaster value earlier in his match. One of the first matches that we broadcast today. But Neuromorph does have to slam to answer this Snipe Juggler. It is a big threat, especially with the Muster for Battle follow-up looming on turn 3.
Ooh, Tyrion already makes his way to hand. And, you know, you may be looking at that and be like, Tyrion, it's a little bit too early. But in the Control Warrior matchup, really all you want to have is you want to have 1 or 2 things to do early on, and then just start dropping your big cards turn after turn. And so having Tyrion this early is actually, I would consider it a little bit of a benefit here. Neuromorph going to go ahead and coin out this Deathbite. Very smart of him. If he's been paying attention to Trump at all, knows that Quartermaster is available here. So going to try to keep that under wraps. Pilot shot a great draw from Trump on this turn.
Yeah, just continuing to curve out. He is sort of throwing it to the slaughter here into the Deathbite, but he is going to guarantee that, or not guarantee, but very likely be left with whatever comes out of that drop going into the next turn. So we'll see if he decides to do it.
Yeah, this is a really interesting turn. I actually really like this now that I think about it, because if Trump can force the Deathbite with just the 3/1/1s, what does the 2-drop from the Pilot Shredder actually leave behind?
What's a Whirlwind doing in this deck?
Yeah, well, it's doing this. Keeping that Quartermaster turn off balance, so Trump going to be forced to throw something away to that Deathbite again. Going to elect for Sludge Belcher. I like using the Sludge Belcher here a little bit more than the Pilot Shredder because he gets to squeeze in a hero power with it next turn, and then also gets more power from the Pilot Shredder than he gets from the Sludge Belcher overall. So I actually really like this move from Trump. He's played it patiently so far and kind of squeezed an extra card out of this as a result.
Trump's going to think this is Patron.
he might. I mean, seeing the Whirlwind definitely changed your mind, but this has been a really slow start from Neuromorph. You know, to piece together a patron hand here, where on turn 5 they just attack your Sludge Belcher and say go. Like, what would be in his hand?
Yeah, he's
like
played a
Dr.
Slam and a
Boom.
Whirlwind so far, though. I mean,
Dr. Boom, Grom, execute. Like, this is a tough hand to piece together. But this is the spot where Trump can really get going. Shredder position a little bit off here.
yeah, a little bit lonely over there.
It's kind of nitpicky, I'd say. But, you know, I'm a nitpicky kind of guy.
Yeah, me too.
Yep, same.
Sometimes.
Great trade here for Trump. And also the Quartermaster turn set up. But does he want to commit that much to Brawl?
I mean, I don't even know if Brawl's gonna be playing in his mind here. Trump probably has no idea what he's dealing with now. He's seen the only cards he's seen are Despite, Slam, Whirlwind, and Fierce Monkey.
Yeah, it's that's the kind of mix where I saw that, and Reno might be creeping into my mind at that point.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is the mid-range warrior deck that's kind of come into popularity a little bit in the last couple of weeks does run Whirlwinds, and it does run Fierce Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's going to commit to the Brawl here, so Neuromorph nods his head in approval, knows that Brawl is going to be a great turn for him here.
Mm-hmm.
No real follow-up. Oh, he does have a Reno. So maybe this is a Gorehowl instead. Now the Gorehowl actually looks a lot more appealing. He can just eat the damage, have the Brawl afterwards, clear up the last minion, and then go into a Reno turn. Like maybe take a little bit more damage and then Reno to heal this all back up. So Neuromorph actually has a great set of turns in front of him for this matchup. You know, Paladin is going to have a ton of bursts out of hand. I think he could play this one really slow and come out way ahead in the card advantage value. Or the card advantage battle, rather. I don't know why I said value there. I guess because we've been casting for like 5 hours at this point.
Armor up, pass.
Well, if he's going to armor up, that's definitely an interesting one. I would have liked to see Gorehowl this turn. Wow, he's going to pass. That Leon Hands may be looking at drawing extra cards here. I don't know. When Trump sees that, he's got to be thinking to himself, there's no way he's got Brawl.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just going to drop Tyrion. I don't blame him here either. Even with the Tyrion being played here, if the Tyrion dies to the Brawl, he gets the Ashbringer from it. And so that is a lot of pressure that's coming in. And Neuromorph, the fact that he chose to forego the Gorehound last turn means that he doesn't have access to that to start clearing up the little minions that are left behind. And that could end up being a bit of a problem for him here. You know, that Gorehowl was the key turn, I think. He needed to play that turn.
Yeah, he can Brawl and then bash what's left.
Yeah, Brawl is for sure.
Yeah, he could Brawl and then, 2/3 of the time he could bash what's left, unless it's Quartermaster or Tyrion that lives. Slime, I don't think he's even worth a bash. But he thinks it is.
Now I'm curious if Trump is going to keep playing it slow here, or if he's going to start pressuring the life total.
His hand is just really not that great right now. Yeah, I think Lay on Hands is a must. Because other than that, he doesn't want to override his Ashbringer with Muster for Battle at all. He doesn't really want to play Tempo Eldor Peacekeeper.
Zombie Chow is a surprisingly good pickup right here. Because the Reno and Neuromorph's hand means that heal for 5 is usually just going to be inconsequential. Ooh.
Yeah.
Get ready to tank up!
Yeah.
Welcome to the grand.
Might as well throw it out there, get it out while you can, and he's gonna wait till the last possible moment here. A shield slam.
Yeah, I think he's hoping that Trump makes it a little bit more of an aggressive push, but this is definitely the signal to slow things down and take it one step at a time. So Trump's going to evaluate at this point. Does have a lot of longevity with the hero power in this matchup. Just being able to amass enough 1/1s will result in some favorable trades, a lot of extra damage. He's going to make sure he uses these every single turn. This Keeper of Voldemort might be a little bit early here, but it looks like he just wants to keep the pressure high.
I feel like I've learned today that everything I know about Hearthstone is wrong.
It's like that one, the next to the last level in Marble Madness, where everything's backwards. You're running over the little obstacles instead of them running over you.
Yeah, I'm gonna giggle like I get that reference.
You've never played Marble Madness?
Good one. That's admirable.
Oh, jeez.
Really great. Solid reference.
I'm so old.
7 out of 10.
Get this old guy off the cast.
8 out of 10 with Rice.
Harrison Jones, a little bit late to the party, but one draw is okay. Yeah, the admin, see that in Skype? The admin, it says Marble Madness is the best game.
Never happened.
I'm screenshotting it right now.
Well, Neuromorph still has Reno Jackson. And Trump, I wonder if Trump has Justicar Trueheart in this mid-range Paladin deck.
It seems like a card that'd be right up his alley. I mean, if you're going to run Quartermaster, having an extra enabler to that and like a long-term enabler, I think is usually a pretty good idea.
It also gives you sort of that extra inevitability, especially against Control Warrior. Control Warrior really struggles to deal with those 1/1s, especially later in the game.
Yeah, Trump a little bit of a tough turn. He's got a lot of options available to him. I just feel like options make things tough.
Yeah,
I just want to
screw
play on
options.
curve, man. I just want Mysterious Challenger.
Just want to throw up my hand and hit him in the face. Just let me play Hearthstone the way I want to.
Yeah. I mean, I throw my hands up in the air sometimes. Say an AO. Going deep on that one. Acolyte of Pain joins Neuromorph's hand. But he's under quite a bit of pressure. I mean, just enough dudes add up to some damage after a while. He's going to commit Grom. Whoa!
And that seems like a pretty bold snap call. He doesn't even know what he wants to do with it after he throws it onto the board.
Looks like Trump may be able to tank up a bit here himself.
And Aldor Peacekeeper.
Yeah, I like the Eldor here over the BGH. The BGH, I think, is going to be reserved for a spot where you're in a bit more of a pinch. This also allows Trump to get a little bit of value from his minions and the armor up. You know, Eldor Peacekeeper is great at answering stuff. You just get to attack straight into it. But kind of the way it's rolling right now, it's, you know, that BGH could easily take out something later on.
Yeah, but so could Aldor Peacekeeper. I feel like BGH is more restricted in its use. Like BGH has to have a 7 attack minion, whereas Aldor Peacekeeper, he doesn't discriminate. He'll take a 6 attack minion if he wants. Maybe even a 5 attack minion. Hell, Aldor Peacekeeper could even take a 4 attack minion.
That's ridiculous, Bobby. You can hit 6, you can hit 5, you can hit 4.
Hell, you can even hit 4.
Trump just going to keep laying on the pressure here. Just enough little stupid guys will get the job done. And let's go ahead and record another one. Reporting for duty indeed. Just pass a turn. Doesn't have to do anything. Those are my favorite turns in Hearthstone, where you don't have to do anything.
I hate those ones because I always feel obligated to do something.
See, that's when you level up. The moment that you decide, I don't have to do anything. It's that feeling in WoW when it goes, doosh, suddenly you're 20 and you get Leandra.
What?
You know the level up sound?
What does it do?
And that little swirl of light comes around you.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Little does everybody know, Admiral actually voiced the level up sound in World of Warcraft.
Looking like he's trying to set up for this Baron Geddon, but I'll tell you what, when you play Cruel Taskmaster and only have 6 mana left, you cannot Baron Geddon afterwards. Yeah. So this is looking like a pure error at this point. Oh my, that is not that is not the strongest of sequence there. Bit of a blunder from Neuromorph, but Reno Jackson going to try to make the most of it. Heals back to 30.
A pure, unadulterated error. Yeah. But, you know, Reno Jackson is there for those moments when you might be dead, but you're trying not to be dead. So, Trump, though, I mean...
I wonder...
I don't know why we're laughing. I really don't. I have no idea why, but it's funny.
Yeah. Trump has been doing nothing for a while now, which means he's built up quite a big hand here. Picks up the Aldor Peacekeeper, and guess what? There's a 4-attack minion on the board. But now it's sort of reset. Trump knows, hey, Reno's been played. Now I just got to get as much value out of my stuff as possible, and eventually I'm just going to win because I'm going to out-card advantage. My hero power is going to out-advantage his hero power. Eventually my 1/1s will build up enough to where I'm pushing more damage than his tank up can block every single turn.
Exactly, he's going to keep going towards here. Going to take out Reno, takes out the full Taskmaster as well. Sets up a pretty good Baron-Geddon turn for Neuromorph, but Trump has been holding on to this big game hunter for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Mind Control Tech joins the party, but it does not look very good here.
I mean, it's better than... I guess he could just Baron-Geddon. This Baron-Geddon's pretty good, but it is going to meet its demise here with the big game hunter.
Yeah. Good patience from Trump here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's one of Trump's strong suits is his patience. Trump's never really a player who feels rushed to do anything.
Yeah, in these control matchups, that patience pays off a lot, too. And he's also seen the Reno, so at this point, Trump also knows that he's pretty free to extend into the board quite a bit after that brawl. Mm-hmm. Reno Jackson has gotten played, so I think that Trump is assuming there's one copy of everything in here. Mind Control Tech's going to snag a 1/1, but not really too much help afterwards. There goes that Acolyte of Pain.
Well, he's still getting value to that Gorehowl. Is this board worth using equality?
What I'm curious about is this a board where Trump can force card draws instead? I mean, he drew 3 cards from that lay on hands. I'm curious to see what the deck sizes are, because I feel like that might be where this game is headed, is into that fatigue state. And if that's the case, Trump forcing card draws might be in his best interest right now.
Hmm. He does see that Neuromorph is pretty much out of stuff, though, which means he might do the opposite and try and avoid card draw. And he might feel like he needs to just sort of end this game.
It's definitely an alternative.
Later.
If he can choke Neuromorph just out of resources and continue to extend the board in a way that Neuromorph just has to very inefficiently use all the rest of his cards, that is definitely a win condition. And with Ironbeak Owl and Big Game Hunter left on hand versus this board, he doesn't really have many options left. Trump's just going to continue to peck away at the life total until he has amassed an overwhelming advantage. And I feel like it's only a matter of time until he finds another quartermaster. Mad Bomber!
Mad what?
What's going on?
I don't know. I said it earlier. Today I've just pretty much am forgetting everything that I know about Hearthstone. I'm just throwing it all out the window.
Those are not good targets. Oh my, that's a... What are the odds of that? I mean, those look like it's some great options there. Just wish the whole way. There's the Justicar Trueheart.
And that's what Trump's looking for. This card is the bane of Control Warrior when you play it as a mid-range paladin. 2 1/1s every single turn. And it decides to trade in the Shield to Minibot as opposed to the Ironbeak Owl. Not sure it really matters. Just a sort of a min-maxing thing, I suppose.
Yep. No difference there. And now just, I mean, this is the point where Neuromorph's in trouble. He does not have an effective answer to this stuff. And those 1/1s, it doesn't look like much right now, but a couple turns down the road when players are operating on very small margins, it makes a big difference. So I think ideally here, Trump can keep... Yeah, that seems kind of like a weird one to me. It seems like he just took some extra damage. He's even just going to play the big game run at this point. If Trump can manage to keep one big threat on board alongside the little 1/1s, this adds up to a ton of damage in the long run. Even the base of the tank up.
The attack.
Yeah, attack doesn't really make too much sense to me. I mean, maybe he just wants to commit the trade, but I don't think it's worth 6 health necessarily. Yeah. Trump even just going to take his time outside of that. He's going to use his second Consecrate here. It looks like. I mean, he may just be in the business of rebuilding to the 1/1s, but looks like he wants to get going. So, Consecration cleans this up, and then the 6th one's going to keep smacking away. He's going to get 18 damage out of that Justicar, which is a ton right now.
Yeah. And, I mean, I guess this is the only way that Neuromorph kills the Justicar Trueheart. But taking 18 in order to do so, at that point, you're better off just hoping that you draw into, like, a Revenge or something like that. So he's going to take another 6. He's going to get it a little bit with the tank up. But Trump's still, he's still in the driver's seat here.
Quartermaster will end the game right now. It's going to be Haunted Creeper instead. So we'll continue to grind Neuromorph's resources into the dust here.
Yeah, he's just going to use his hero power to, trade into Neuromorph's cards. And eventually he will just whittle him down enough to be able to close out the game. It's a long, grueling process, but it's effective.
Everything's just dust in the wind right now.
What was that saying? Death by 1,000 cuts?
Yeah.
Death by 1,000 dudes.
I don't know how you cut someone with a hammer in your hand. Like those Silverhand the Silverhand guys do, but
Death by 1,000 thuds.
I feel like those guys should deal more than 1 damage. I mean, look at that hammer.
They deal the same amount of damage as a Haunted Creeper.
Wow.
The damage just seems disproportionate in general, because Uther wielding a hammer deals 3 damage.
That's a Hammer of Wrath, though.
Oh, it's a cog hammer.
That one's a cog hammer, yeah.
Yeah.
COG, cog.
Thanks. Thanks for clarifying.
2 more 1/1s. Wants to ensure that he has the best chance to keep his attacks alive. This may be an equality turn here, but yeah, that's a lot of health to lose on that. A lot of health to lose on that Lotheb here.
There's not really anything that's going to take it out, unless his Boombot hits it. 'Cause that Gorehowl is actually a 0 durability Gorehowl.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that definitely makes a big difference here then.
Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Do you have the
Oh, at least Starseeker. He's only got 5 cards left in his deck. Maybe that's going to be his win condition here.
It looks like it at this point, but he is getting a little bit low on resources at this point.
Ooh, what are you going to... Okay, yeah. And
Oh.
True Silver Champion, 7, 8, 9. 13 damage with True Silver Champion.
This might just go ahead and be the turn to push, though.
Yeah. Neuromorph's going to need a lot of help. I don't even know what he could have left in his deck.
Don't mind the cog hammer here. Just going to occupy attacks and keep dealing damage. But I think, Trump's looking at. I think he's going to end up trading here. Ultimately, he wants to preserve that 5/1 as long as he can. Just going to keep making dudes. Yeah, I mean, this is going to set up nicely for next turn. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of damage on board. Neuromorph needs something, or he is lethaled on board. There's the map. It's going to have to lead somewhere. Needs a treasure right now. Oh, that was a literal huge draw if you saw it on the side there.
Yeah. And this...
Tank Masters. Oh, ugly.
yeah. But, he's still got 4 legendaries left in his deck. I think maybe even 5 legendaries left in his deck.
He's got 11 damage this turn.
What legendaries can Neuromorph have that are going to help him survive? Deathwing, Alakir,
Takes 4 damage.
Chillmaw. What else?
That new 5/9 that can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. That 9-mana 5/9 taunt.
Yeah. That one.
10 damage. Just going to make his 1/1s an attack. And once again, Neuromorph going to need some help here. What was considering this last time? I mean, I'm trying to think of any... Oh, he's considering playing the Aldor Peacekeeper. That's what it was. Oh!
Oh, no.
Look at this motley crew of gnomes right here. guys just aren't doing anything.
Yeah, and that is going to do it.
Yeah,
Valiant
Trump takes-
effort by a Neuromorph. There was actually a couple cards that might have even won in the game there at the end, but unfortunately getting some inconsequential legendaries. He could have hit the Lothep, turned it into a squirrel. That would have allowed him to survive an extra turn. But unfortunately, that means Neuromorph goes down in game number 1. Trump take a lead in the series.
Yeah, but grinding out game number 1 with mid-range Paladin versus Control Warrior. Not really a big surprise to see. I would traditionally say that's one of the worst matchups I think that Warrior can run into. They have to do so much to get control of the board, and the Justicar provides so much more longevity to the Paladin than Justicar does for the Warrior.
Yeah.
So just great value that he got in that game. Very patient and made the most out of pretty much every single card that he could have that game. So very slow paced game 1, so I think Neuromorph is still on even keel here as well. But going up against Trump at this point, this is a big guy in the Hearthstone world. Maybe he's feeling a little bit nervous.
Yeah, and it looks like Neuromorph's going to switch gears here and go for the Warlock. And Trump as well going to throw out his Zoo Warlock. So it could be a mirror matchup. Neuromorph looks like he's going to be playing the Zoo Warlock, and that's really going to solidify it. So the mirror matchup for Zoo, all about the early game. Whoever can take control of the board usually is who comes out on top. And all times that means making really weird trades, trading lots of damage into 1/1s to make sure that your opponent just doesn't have anything on the board. And starting off with a Flame Imp is a really great start. And surprised that he goes for a Flame Imp of his own. Dark Peddler would have traded in just the same and would have given options to the next turn, maybe to protect the Flame Imp, but definitely have to see. Trump's just going to take this opportunity to go face. He has the activator for the Nerubian Egg, which means that if something's played onto the board, he can just use that with the Abusive Sergeant next turn to activate the egg. So it looks like Trump's playing the Doomguard version. A couple of different popular styles of Zoo Warlock right now. One that uses Leroy Jenkins as a finisher, and of course the one that uses Doomguards as well. So Trump's got he can play the Brand Bronzebeard and coin out the Abusive Sergeant to trade into the Imp Gang Boss and also activate his egg. What a play.
Yeah, this is about as fantastic of a start as you're going to get. This might be the most effective use I've seen of Brand and Zoo, honestly.
Yeah.
This is a big board swing.
That's exactly what this matchup is about. It's all about the board swings. And Neuromorph had the opportunity to do the same thing himself, but now he's faced with sort of an awkward choice here from the Dark Peddler. Reliquary Seeker in the mirror matchup rarely gets value. Corruption's usually not going to hit something that large. And Soulfire, of course, you have to empty your hand in order to make that super valuable. But he's just going to have to remove this off the board. Too threatening is that 4/4.
Goes after the 4/4 instead of the Brand. No value here for Trump. Does have that Brand Doomguard combo, which we know is hyper powerful.
Oh, yeah. Really great. Just great stuff overall.
Yep.
Neuromorph with the Acidic Swamp Ooze tech, and he's going to go with that. He's holding onto that Implosion. Ooh, the old Tap Blast. Oh, jeez. All right, well, Neuromorph does have one of those big swing turns next turn with Knife Juggler plus Implosion.
Yeah, definitely the one he's eyeing right now, but we'll like to see him tap there first. In-game boss would have been a fantastic draw for him. Trump in the meantime, just going to remember this board, taking 6 damage from this Flame Imp, but that's going to get the Sea Giant out. Ah, it hurts. But you know what? I'll take 3 damage to get a Sea Giant in play.
Yeah, and Knife Juggler Implosion can do a lot, but there's a lot of targets on this board for it to hit. You don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah, I think he's got to go for it. Knife Juggler, Implosion in that Sea Giant. That needs to die. I mean, that hits for 8. He's going to be in trouble. Oh! That's bad news.
Yeah. Where's he going with that?
This went from bad to worse.
Yeah. And how much damage is that? Is that just lethal? That's 13, 17, 22 damage.
I was going to count it over. That is 22 damage, indeed. Yeah, it just shrugs it off. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure.
okay.
Let's win the game.
Yeah, okay.
And
Vanguard.
that's quite the opposite of game number 1, which lasted 45 minutes. Game number 2 is going to last about 5 minutes, and Trump's going to take a 2-0 lead in the series.
Yeah, very decisive victory. I mean, Bran and Abusive Sergeant on the Rubian Egg on his turn 3 is just such a big swing when you're able to kill an Imp Gang boss with it. And just no recovery potential for Neuromorph really at all. I mean, he needed such a good implosion juggler turn that the odds were extremely stacked against him at that point. So now Trump 3 chances to win with Warrior versus Neuromorph. We've seen some reverse sweeps so far this tournament, though, but Trump's looking like he's in great form.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Just that Warrior left remaining. We'll see if he can take out one of these decks from Neuromorph. Got 3 chances to do so. Still have yet to see the Hunter deck from Neuromorph, but looks like we are going to see it now. And there's 2 cards that don't usually go hand in hand, and that's going to be Web Spinner and Arcane Golem. Web Spinner is usually only found in the mid-range versions of the deck, and Arcane Golem is usually found in the very aggressive forms of the deck. So interesting to see both of those in the same deck.
Yeah, seeing the Savannah Highmane, looks like he wanted to have a little bit more reach with those Arcane Golems. Finley on turn 1. Trump is playing Patron Warrior, and you know that Ping is a fantastic option.
Oh, yeah.
Deck.
It's a little bit brave to give up armor up against the Hunter. You're just sort of hoping that it's not going to be an aggressive version, and he is going to be rewarded. He's going to see the Web Spinner here. So Trump is definitely in a great spot with this opening hand. He's got an Unstable Ghoul. He's got an Acolyte of Pain to throw behind that. If he can bait out an Iron Begal here, he's going to be feeling pretty good. But looks like Neuromorph is just going to go ahead and hero power past the turnover.
Yeah, that's going to open up Acolyte of Pain for Trump here. And just start chipping away these life tools. Trump's really... he's done a lot of work with 1 power minions in this series so far.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Neuromorph going to look over his turns here. Nothing looks too great for him. But none of his options look horrible either.
Some of them look kind of bad.
Gonna quick shot the Acolyte and just hero power, and that's going to open up that Core Crown Elite for Trump now. You know, we've been working with 1 power guys so far. We're going to start working with 4 power guys. Giddy up.
Yeah, he's got so much damage in his hand. He could just start taking the aggressive path here, going for the race. I mean, with just the weapons alone and the inner rages, he's got so much damage.
Given the play last turn, I wouldn't be surprised to see a kill command on this Core Crown Elite. And if it doesn't die, it's going to add up to a lot of damage. And those Leopardum's going to join the party. And it's kind of free for Trump. I mean, he just pings it off and keeps going.
Yeah.
Like Fiery Warak space here is totally fine.
Yeah, just keep putting on the pressure. That's 5 damage this turn. That's 5 damage going to be going in on the next turn as well. All of a sudden, you're looking at 12 health on the Hunter, and you're racking that up. Dr. Boom on 7. This is looking really good for Trump. I don't know if Neuromorph's going to even have time to play all these loaded threats that he has in his hand.
Billy's gotten in for 4 points of damage so far. That's such a good 1-drop, isn't it?
Well, any 1-drop that's a 1/3 seems pretty decent. Trades into
Savannah.
1/2s.
Savannah Highmane going to be the play. Trump is... Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, anything to just add to the board and keep swinging.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really matter what it is right now. It looks, I mean, to me, this just looks like damage upstairs, set the Death Bite in the Armor Smith, and roll into your Dr. Boom.
Do you start cashing in on these inner rages, though? To push this face damage?
Well, he
I
might.
think you do.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. Knows that attack is set up, and that's also going to set up the kill. I mean, this kill is coming very quick.
Yeah. He's got a kill over the next 2 turns. He can just Death Bite ping next turn and then have lethal. And he's got Armor Smith on the board, being protected by this Unstable Ghoul. So it is going to be silenced away, but I don't think Neuromorph's going to be able to piece together nearly enough damage.
Yeah, really struggling here. I mean, just so much damage been taken already. How does he come back from this? It's just going to take the draw from the Beast. Plays Web Spinner. Captain's Parrot, no good. What if he just jammed Captain's Parrot and got a pirate off of it?
Yeah, Captain Greenskin.
Yeah, Trump is looking pretty good here.
Yeah.
It's tough to pass up Dr. Boom. Man, when you're this far ahead, yeah, it's just going to be Dr. Boom instead. Trade the Finley there and set up for lethal Neuromorph. I mean, this is the last leg right here, and the Bad Scientist is no help. And that looks like it's the end of this series. I don't see a way to deal with this Dr. Boom and live.
Yeah, without taking the damage. Doesn't look like it's going to be possible. And is this Trump's second? Is this going to be Trump's second 3-0 of the day? Did he 3-0 in his first matchup?
I haven't checked the brackets on that one. It's going to be a second victory on camera, though. Yeah, second 3-0 of the day for Trump.
Yeah. Really good stuff.
Just dominating the bracket so far.
Mm-hmm.
Boombot for 4, why not? And, oh, that is a way to live, actually. But he still doesn't have a follow-up to this. There's no way he lives through the secret. Yeah, that's just going to do it. Neuromorph falls 3-0 to Trump, who moves on in this series.
Yeah.
Very decisive victory for him.
Yeah, it was Snake Trap, so Neuromorph's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm out of here. Peace. And that means Trump moves on to the round of 32 to join many more. And there's still so many great players still left in the bracket. We have Firebat. We have Nostum, Super JJ, Calento, the Jordude, Orange. There's a lot of great players still left in the bracket who have already moved on to the round of 32. And another couple of big names that we're actually going to be seeing in our next matchup is Amnesiac, who's the 2016 America's Winter Champion, who's going to be taking on Zalay. So both these guys want to continue to carry the Archon banner further now that their valiant leader has been disposed by Ultima.
Yeah, always tough to fight the team battles, but this is just something that happens in these large events like this. Eventually, if you guys are winning enough, you will run into each other.
Yeah.
And this is a big matchup indeed. I mean, Amnesia coming off of the North American Championship win, and Zalay being number 1 in points in 2015 for North America. I mean, he's been so consistent over his career. Hasn't really put together too many big wins. He has a couple of them in there, but still hunting for some more trophies to stick on that resume. Mm-hmm. So I can guarantee you this next match is going to be a little bit cutthroat. Both of these guys are going to want to win in this one.
Yeah. We're going to have to go to a small break before we jump into that matchup, guys. But make sure, again, you head over to the website. Enter in to win the CyberPower Gamer Extreme 1000 PC if you haven't done so already. GEICO.onog.gg, or just click the banner right below the stream page. But just a few minutes before we jump into the next match, guys, so don't go anywhere. Lots more still to come at the Hearthstone Major presented by One Nation of Gamers. Don't go anywhere.